When you're listening to someone speak and you can feel yourself zoning out. What people don't seem to understand about ADHD is that certain things aren't just boring for us. They can be borderline painful. The mental effort it takes me just to get ready for the day fills me with dread because there are so many steps and it's so overwhelming. I'll remember. Is the ADHD demon talking? You won't remember. Write it down. Bold of you to assume I'll remember where I wrote it, or even that I wrote it. Starts reading a simple book. Reads the same sentence 3 times. Mind wanders off to random thoughts. Starts over. Looks at phone to check the time. Puts phone away. Me. So what time is it? My brain. Good question. Me explaining how during a nuclear explosion, there is a certain distance of the radius where all the frozen supermarket pizzas are cooked to perfection. My dad asking himself why he didn't pull out that night. Me. Tries to fall asleep. My brain. Let's review your mistakes. My brain processing the thousands of background noises going on around me. My brain processing words when someone is talking to me. Just a friendly reminder to throw away that half-used lemon in your fridge. Me at 1:30 a.m. Me at 6 a.m. Me. I'll put my drink in the freezer so it cools faster. Me opening the freezer 2 days later. Me trying to find my way back to the lobby after my doctor took me through a hallway with more than one turn. When you hear someone talking about your special interest, but they're getting all the facts wrong. When someone has explained something to you 3 times and you still don't get it. So you just smile politely. The ADHD leaving my body when my mom tells me to get a planner. Hyperfixating on my hobbies, games, books, fun facts. I sleep. Hyperfixating on doom scrolling, thinking about stray animals and torture. Real shit. When you finally lose an unhealthy hyperfixation, finally, inner peace. People watching me work on my craft. Wow, you must be a very patient and dedicated person. Me. On methylphenidate doing a niche activity that provides a steady supply of dopamine. Me. I shouldn't really complain. My childhood wasn't that bad. My therapist. History in school. History as a hobby. When you keep saying you'll fold the laundry later. The fidget I thought would work for me. What actually worked for me? Me. Keeps looking at ADHD memes to see what else I can relate to at 1:30 a.m. I don't need sleep. I need answers. When your package arrives, but the dopamine doesn't hit because you've already moved on to a new fixation. Remembering simple tasks and appointments. A video game jingle I heard once in 1988. ADHDers that take on life without medication. Well, first of all, with caffeine and anger, all things are possible, so jot that down. Me trying to use healthy skills. Suicide as a coping mechanism. Completes task. Me. Where's my sense of accomplishment? ADHD brain. Best I can do is a sense of relief. When you meet some people who are childless, around my age at my new job, hang out a few times outside of work, and they're pretty cool/quirky/considerate. Get comfortable enough to unmask a bit. They seem to like me more for being weird. I turn on the console, then I sit in front of the PC and play for a few hours. My console. Me 0.02 seconds after guzzling a whole 6-pack of Monster. Catching up on my massive backlog of shows that's causing me anxiety. Watching something completely random I didn't know existed till today. You're finally doing the important thing you've put off for months. Something goes wrong immediately and ruins everything. ADHDRs cleaning their own home. ADHDRs playing cleaning simulators. My brain. Hey, let's find an app for that. My home screen 5 minutes later. Overly analyzing my $20 purchase that would literally change my life in the long run. Impulsively spends over $100 on snacks and energy drinks that I know won't be even that good. Me when I start yapping too much about my hyperfixation and then realize I'm losing my mysterious aura. Me. The reason I opened my phone. Literally anything else on my phone. Me doing anything other than the thing I need to do. ADHD brain. We don't have time for that, we have important stuff to do. Me. What important stuff? ADHD brain. Me. There's important stuff to do, right? My ADHD paralysis at 9 a.m. because I didn't take off work and have an appointment at 2 p.m. Me. I partner up with 2 ADHDers for a group project. We become friends and bond over our shared experiences. We can't get anything done. We can't get anything done. Too embarrassing to ask my boss what task was just assigned to me. I'd rather explore 14 million possibilities about what it could be. Me at 3 a.m., remembering there's a shirt that I haven't seen for a long time. When you feel guilty for not studying, but you're still not studying. I spent all day doing side quests instead of progressing the main story. I know you're talking about a video game, but this is actually a really good metaphor for my life. My brain when I try to make it learn something that I'm not interested in. Error. Could not copy files because no. I think I'm gonna go find something else to do now. Me. List of things I need to get done. Me learning something new. Me practicing something I've learned so it can be a useful skill. Me in public trying to not be a nerd. My ADHD self when I hear something about my hyperfixation. Therapist. We can't control our emotions, but we can control how we respond to our emotions. Me, trying to control how I respond to my emotions. 2024 is gonna be my year. Me in October. Me when my alarm clock goes off in the morning. Weirdest thing that gets you angry. Telling me to do something when I'm already in the middle of doing it. Me finally getting on with my life as a diagnosed ADHD person. My undiagnosed autism. I get a very high score on a test. It's an ADHD test. I finally have a diagnosis. I'm going to do my assignment. 30 minutes pass and I haven't done anything. Alright brain, if we're gonna waste time, might as well do something I enjoy. Sits and does nothing for 2 hours. Media. The average adult spends $255 per year on their hobbies. People in this group. When the motivation hits and you try to get everything done before the executive dysfunction comes back. The 7 cups of coffee are finally kicking in, and I don't feel tired anymore. It's 8:49 p.m. Why would I finish a thought when I could start a new, more exciting one? Forget a weighted blanket. Get me whatever this is. If my overstimulation took a physical form, this would be it. Me as a teenager, after hard work finally fairly able to focus. Development of the World Wide Web. Invention of smartphones and social media. Me in the middle of my conversation trying to remember what I was talking about. Me after completing exactly one task on my to-do list. Do you ever zone out but you are aware that you are zoned out but you are too lazy to zone back in? Me waiting for it to be late so I can hurry up. Being called smart because you have a variety of information on different subjects. But in reality, it is all surface level intelligence and you don't feel like you are really good at anything when you're part of the group but not the conversation. I told you 2 days ago, don't you remember? Me, cashier. The receipt is in the bag. Me, you too. When you run out of things to talk about. A new hyperfixation. Me trying to be productive. My brain. How you feel one random 3 a.m. morning with an absurd, universe-shattering amount of energy getting stuff done in record time. My toxic trait is to act interested when someone gives me any piece of unsolicited advice, only for me to completely ignore it and forget about it as soon as they shut up. ADHD memes are very relatable to you. Like very relatable. Start thinking you have ADHD and want to get diagnosed. Your parents don't believe you and tell you you're just forgetful and lazy. You start to doubt if you really have ADHD, or is it just a medical student syndrome? Doctor. So, what's wrong with you? Me.